All right, so here we go. Game number 2 in our best of 3 featuring Team League matchmaking and imported support. Imported support, of course, up 1-0 right now in our HGC NA Open Division Cup number 6. Mystic, you saw the last game. What do you ban here? Do you stick with banning the Shield siblings, or because it's assumed something different?
Hmm. I think I would go out and if I were Team League matchmaking, I'd probably just ban out the Zarya.
Okay.
Whether or not the other team bans out the TAS is totally on them, but yeah, I would
Right.
ban out the Zarya almost 100%.
Okay. Um, I like this map. This map is so close. I worry, given what we saw last game, that imported support's going to run away with this one quickly. Um, you know, we have to see how the draft goes and everything else. But I worry about their ability to just like take it and run with it, like we've seen in other games. So
Hmm. I also think maybe Varian is also a pretty big contender to be banned because that Varian played pretty well that game. We see the Ariel ban.
that's interesting. I mean, Gul'dan is super strong here. Vala is super strong here. Maybe they didn't want to give him Ariel one of those. And the Lucio ban. So we're just going to support choke tonight.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the Insta Zarya pickup.
And that's why they skipped the ban they skipped.
Hmm. Now, if I were imported support, probably pick up the Malfurion because Lucio is banned, and then pick up maybe Johanna as a tank.
Johanna's
Johanna
a
is,
solid tank.
yeah, it's pretty
That
good on
makes
this
sense.
map. Pretty good versus Arya, actually. And then, ooh, but they go for the Malfurion
See, I like the
Gul'dan.
Gul'dan better. I mean, I'm always a fan of Gul'dan, so I love seeing him picked. But here's a question for you. Do you think tonight on this map we will see an Asmodan?
That is a possibility.
Especially if, like, Team League matchmaking can perhaps get Johanna here to help stack it quicker.
You see the Greymane and the Anub.
I
Greymane, pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like those two picks, and I know we're in the ban phase right now for what imported supports can ban out next. But I'd like to see imported support pick up like a Vala here, or even a Rainer, something that's got a lot of AA to just throw it in Uberak and say, "What's up? You picked that early, we're gonna throw it right back at you." You know,
Yeah.
I would almost say even a hammer and do like a protect the hammer comp with your last 3 picks.
Oh man. I haven't seen Hammer in a while.
Like Varian Tassadar hammer could work out. It would be kind of ugly though. I'm not sure how well it would work, but we see Morales banned. Definitely focusing on the support choke.
Yeah, three supports already filled the slots of the bans. Malfurion already taken away. Hmm.
Right.
Do you ban out? I mean, if you're not taking Joe, do you ban that out here? Or do you ban out like the Murden? Because Murden's always pretty strong.
Murden is always pretty strong. I think you have to ban That's a good question, because do you ban the Joe and then they take the Murden, or do you ban the Murden and they take the Joe?
But the Arthas is banned.
All right. I mean, if imported support was gonna go double tank, that makes sense. I'm just looking back to earlier today when we cast imported support, and they have not run that at all. So
Tychus Johanna.
I like Tychus over the Vala, actually. So I know I said I'd like to see them pick up the Vala to throw the AAs at a new Barak. I actually like Tychus better for that. Because he'll be able to throw in that much more damage against that Anubarak. So I like that. To me, that's a really good pick.
Yeah, imported support definitely already has like everything that they need. They just have the last pick as a flex pick for anything that comes up in this last 2 picks for TeamLeague.
Right.
But you do still need a healer for the side of TeamLeague. Rhaegar is probably going to be the pickup here, and they do pick up Probius.
And a Rhaegar. Now, I faced a Provius on this map today. And it was a little brutal. It wasn't bad, but you know what would not be bad here? Valera or a Zeratul. Both of them can throw a ton of damage onto Probius, Rhaegar, and Greymane. Actually, Probius can be one shot at 4 from like any of them.
I think they should flex pick Artanis. I really love picking Artanis on this map with amateur opponent. It takes out the web weavers really quickly. Not only that, but you can almost like one combo the pylons from Probius. Like,
right.
You go in, you press your W, you slash it twice, one more auto is gone.
Yeah. That's true.
It really cuts down the effectiveness of Probius if you pick up an Artanis.
Valera is a W in 2 stabby stabs to a pylon.
Oh, the Thrall pickup.
That's interesting. I almost think Sonya might have been a little better there. That could just be because I'm used to seeing Sonya over Thrall, though, and not really any better. That's interesting. I mean, they needed a solo laner, right? So that makes sense. And I think Thrall will be able to hold his own against Probius. So I think I'm good with this pick. But we'll see how it goes in the game, because we're jumping right into game number 2 in our best of 3 for HGC Open Division NA Cup number 6. TeamLeague matchmaking is down 0 games to 1 against imported support. And for the red team in imported support, we do have the Aware on Malfurion, Crux on the Johanna, Swabs Magoo on the Thrall, Special T on the Tychus, and FZ Ignition on the Gul'dan.
And for TeamLeague matchmaking, we have Bronarius on the Anubarak, Hoshibaba on the Probius, Zlurd on the Zarya, Schism on the Rhaegar, and Rust on the Greymane.
All right, so who won the draft here, in your opinion? Actually, I'll give you mine first, because I know I ask you all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead. I will share mine first and give you that break, because it's been a couple hours of casting now. I am gonna give that slight edge in a vacuum to what imported support did with their picks. I think with the solo lane and with the group movement, they end up with a stronger team fighting comp, and they can put more damage into TeamLeague matchmaking than TeamLeague matchmaking can heal.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Ooh, Probius taking a lot of damage. Oh, goes down.
I mean, that's the struggle with Probius, right? He's so low, he can go down pretty easily. Thrall taking a lot of damage, though, also going down in the back. Got a little greedy there and went 1-on-3.
Wow, this is a very, very skirmishing game so far.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, part of that is these guys have also all been playing for 3 hours. You know, it starts to wear. You get tired. Any of these teams are East Coast. It is 12:45 East Coast right now. So, you know, I can understand it.
Yeah, the four-man bot lane for TeamLeague.
A lot of damage coming out, and that's going to be a dead Malfurion. TeamLeague really looking to push in this bottom lane. Which makes sense, right? If you can't get the top lane, this is your next best map, or next best lane on this map. With the Siege Giants that you can pick up bottom lane, have those push in, and since it's an outside lane, it usually works out. We do have Probius soaking that top lane and middle lane right now as much as he can. He is missing a little bit here and there, but Johanna doing the same as she tries to rotate between mid lane and top lane for imported support. So neither team getting 100% soak on their lanes. A lot of damage from Gul'dan onto that Zarya. I mean, that one corruption, like 50% of her health. Probius, of course, going down again.
Getting taken out again.
That's the struggle with Probius. His life is so low that it's easy for him to die. That's why I said Valerian and Zeratul can one-shot him at level 4. And really, that's just a function of being able to, you know, have those talents to buff your skills enough that you can just take him out in one shot. Zarya top lane. I think we're going to see both teams settle into a more standard rotation after the first turn-in. So right now, both teams just laning, getting what they can. 2 kills to 2 kills. About even on XP and about even on gems. So neither team has a real advantage right now. Probius might be in trouble here.
I think maybe after 2 deaths, Probius has learned his lesson. Played a little bit further back.
So watching this battle go on, anybody watching, just for your own information, instead of trying to destroy Probius's turret, destroy the pylon. It has less health and goes down quicker. And will make your life easier. I'm sure imported support knows that. So that was not a dig, just saying, like, the pylon goes down way faster than that cannon. And the cannon is useless without the pylon. Tychus diving in, but a new rack spotting that, catching him, and Tychus goes down. Both teams continuing to lane and turn in gems when they can. Ooh. TeamLeague matchmaking only needs 1 gem turned in to get the spider waves moving, and only 4 gems on the side of imported support after Thrall got his turn in bottom. Looks like Anubrak was gonna try and get that bottom lane, but not able to do so. Oh, Greymane taking a ton of damage. May go down here.
Oh, Greymane does go down.
Oh, but Anubrak did get the turn in that bottom turn in spot, meaning the blue web weavers for TeamLeague matchmaking coming out first. All the lanes are kind of middle though, so web weavers this early means you need to get the walls. You really need to at least get the walls here so that your XP to gem turning can be worth it. Of course, bottom lane walls already taken down, so Thrall's gonna have a difficult defense there. Probius taking a ton of damage, is healed up.
Thrall doing his best bottom lane to turn that web weaver back into dust.
is going to finish that off right after mid lane is finished off here by Tychus, leaving only the top lane where we do see the fight going down. Ooh, a lot of damage coming out on a Greymane. He is going to survive, though. Getting a little bit low, as is Rhaegar.
Well, is that Web Weaver? No, it's not going to get off of its ranged attack.
So, a decent amount of structures of walls went down, right? But if you look at the XP, really after that first turn in, want to have an XP lead. And Team League matchmaking really doesn't. So, ooh, a lot of damage coming out of Zarya. That cleanse is the one thing that saved her. So what I was saying is, because we didn't get such an XP spike there, and 10 it's really around the corner for both teams. Even with this structural advantage, I think imported support really did the best they could do with that defense, and it actually worked out okay for them.
And for Team League, 10 has just been hit. We see Expulsion Zone, Pylon Overcharge, Locust Swarm, Ancestral, and Go for the Throat coming out.
And then immediately afterwards, we have 10 popping up for imported support. Fear, Odin, Sunder, Blessed Shield, and
Tranquility.
I was looking at that going, that's got to be Tranquility, because it's not Twilight Dream, but Tranquility? Maybe he wants the extra healing. There is a lot of damage on the side of Team League matchmaking. So it makes a little bit of sense. Oh, they're diving deep. Fear, Sunder, and Johanna's stun coming out.
Clutch Ancestral.
That was a great Ancestral. Out comes the Odin. Basically, everybody has popped everything at this point. The only thing left is Archon. Or not Archon. How that looks just like Archon. I just now noticed that. Pylon Overcharge for Probius. And Probius wasn't set up enough for the Pylon Overcharge to actually be effective. But what I really like about what just happened here, and this is kind of what I was getting at earlier, if you don't have a huge XP lead, you really want to at least end up with a back-to-back turn-in. And that is the situation we see imported support in. They're sitting on more than enough gems to get another turn-in, which has caused Probius to completely set up on this bottom turn-in spot in an effort to try and goaltend. Even if Team League matchmaking turns in all of their gems, it will not be enough to get a turn-in. So what they really need to do here is kill Thrall. Thrall was sitting on 20 gems earlier, and he's over 20 now. So if you're Team League matchmaking, Thrall is your kill target, and you really need to find him.
Well, Johanna going in for this engage.
Oh, that's going to be a dead Greymane. That was a beautiful kill. Expulsion Zone being used.
Well, Zari getting caught out here.
Thrall looking to
Pylon
possibly get a kill.
Overcharge.
Pylon Overcharge being used, though. Oh, that should, in fact, be a dead Probius, but he is barely going to escape. Johanna now taking a ton of damage for her troubles. Thrall looking to possibly get the turn in here. Not quite able to do so. Looks like he's going to go towards the top lane. And the rest of Team League matchmaking going to follow him, but it may be too late.
Oh, Zarius.
They stop the Thrall, but they don't stop Tychus from turning in his 16, making it so that important support only needs 5, and Thrall may not have been. Thrall didn't finish that, but somebody did. That's going to be another Web Weaver turn in pushing against Team League matchmaking. And much like last game, we see the macro working out a little bit better for imported support. Being prepared with the back-to-back turn in, clearing the waves a little bit faster, and being ready to make sure extra pressure is getting put onto
yeah, here come the Web Weavers.
You're right. And these Web Weavers are going to be on this keep wall, which is already down, which means this should be the mid lane keep going over to imported support. But we'll see. Team League matchmaking could have a really strong defense. All of their heroics are up. Odin being popped early, looking to secure a lot of damage, zone off, and get this keep down.
Oh, that's dirty. Innervate with Odin.
Oh, I don't know, man. That's just called using your skills. Out comes the pylon overcharge, but Greymane does go down. Lots of damage going on to the Rhaegar as well. Not going to be enough to kill him. And they successfully defend that keep. So Team League matchmaking, while they did lose their Greymane, did not lose their first keep of the game.
And this top fort and bottom fort are looking to go down, though.
Yeah, I think this is probably exactly what Imported Support was hoping for. Putting out a ton of damage, really putting a lot of pressure on this keep. I mean, Team League matchmaking can't leave the keep. If they leave the keep to defend from the other spiders that are pushing in top lane, bottom lane, they lose the keep. So instead, we do see Imported Support getting both forts, top and bottom, and getting the mid lane keep so low that basically you could sneeze on it and take it out. I mean, I think we could see Gul'dan throw down a corruption stack and get that bad boy. Gul'dan going bottom lane, getting the siege giants. I do expect Thrall to turn in here. And again, Imported Support only 5 gems away from a third turn in.
Do you see Johanna getting engaged on a little bit up here? Pops the iron skin is okay.
And we see Team League matchmaking really posturing up, trying to get a turn in so that they can have their spiders push and try to relieve some of this pressure. Oh, a lot of damage coming out onto the Joe, though. This could be a problem for her. And she does go down.
Ancestral coming out on the Greymane.
All of Joe's gems picked up almost immediately, though. So no gems lost on the side of Imported Support. But really, they need to back out of this. Gul'dan was trying to get away. A really nice expulsion zone. Going to make it difficult for him, but he is able to get past that wall and tap the fountain.
Both teams fighting tooth and nail for these turn-ins right now.
Rhaegar just snuck a turn in on the bottom altar. Both teams with enough to turn in. If Imported Support can get this turn in, that will be 3 back-to-back. Oh, they spot the camp and they run in to take it. Looking to do a ton of damage to Greymane. Not going to be able to kill him, but are going to steal Team League Matchmaking's Bruiser Camp away from them. And that Bruiser Camp, plus Gul'dan being there, should be enough to take out this mid lane keep. If not, it's certainly enough to push the rest of the team off and allow you to go do a turn-in. Which is kind of what I wish they were doing right now.
They're really going in hard for this fort. Keep.
They really want that keep. Alright, so they pick up the keep, but now there's no pressure still being added. So that was the advantage to having the camp on the keep. You could send your guys back, try to get that turn in. Instead, everybody's kind of clustered up. Both teams really close to each other. And Proby is trying to do what he can for damage. Oh, a noob diving in on the Gul'dan, but Cleanse keeping him safe. Zarya going down first. That should be a dead Greymane. Next, he is not going to be able to escape. Alright, if you're Imported Support, do you finish or do you go turn in? Because I feel like you can't finish.
You go boss. You go boss and then you turn in.
But you could have someone like Gul'dan turn in now. Or Malf even turn in now, right? Like, you definitely don't need Malf in there for the boss.
Yeah, you probably want someone to turn in so you can sync up the boss with the Web Weaver, but they decide to go for boss first just to have it be a little bit safer. They all go for boss.
Anubrak knows what's going on, makes his way to the top lane, is not going to be able to get in there in time to do anything. But the problem here is for the boss to be effective as anything other than, oh, we got boss, you have to push with it. If you ignore the boss, yeah, Team League Matchmaking can just take the boss out real quick. So Greymane already starting on it. Gul'dan pushing forward. There are the Web Weavers. 20% of the boss's health already picked off, though. And this is kind of what I was referring to. That's why I like cycling people through, it gives you that opportunity to have the boss be more effective when it gets there. I mean, either way, this is a great.
Out. Yeah.
This is a great push, right? Because the boss is doing damage to the keep. Keep ball's down. Spiders are coming in.
Oh, that was a big engage.
Oh, Gul'dan really low. Great fear, but really low. Oh, Zarya goes down first. I think Gul'dan's going to die, but... Yep, Greymane and Anub in a bad place, as is Rhaegar. And that middle lane Spider is just immediately pushing in. Probius down, Anub down. That's a full team wipe. That should be game number 2 going over to imported support. Need to wait till they finish it, of course. But keep down. Spider's pushing in on 2 of the 3 lanes onto the core. Odin being popped for good measure. Oh, 10 seconds until Zarya's up, but it's not going to matter. That core is almost dead. 10%, 0%. Game number 2 going over to imported support.